Hello, 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 hello. Oh well, today's my son's, or today your day is my son's wedding date. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can. Now,
Now you can?
yes.
Hello?
I said yes. Now I can.
Now you can. Okay. Would you say is this weekend your son's wedding?
Yeah, today. Well, it'll be your day today. Two two 2:45 p.m. something like that. Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I was mighty disappointed in my. I think my youngest sister. She now lives in Florida, and I think the area she's in, they got that Hurricane Florence or something coming in, so she can't make that. I don't know if she had sent in an invitation or not. Did I? Oh, technical difficulties today, huh? Of course, coach is on the fritz. Oh, yeah, popped out. Anyway, very, very disappointing from my shitty my oldest sister and the one next, my oldest sister and the one next to me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry. I had gotten a phone call and I missed what you were saying. I asked you if this was your son's wedding weekend. You said yeah, Saturday, right?
Tonight, today,
A Friday.
Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was saying, I think my youngest sister did. I don't know whether she sent her invitation in or not, but she now lives in Florida, and I think in the Fort Myers area. So I think they got Hurricane Florence or something coming in.
Are they
So I
gonna
can
be able to
understand.
are they gonna like someone gonna FaceTime the wedding to you or something if you want? Or
No, I asked my son, and I don't know. I don't think he wants to be bothered with this shit.
no.
But my sister that probably would have, she's not going to be there. I don't know whether she sent her invitation in or not. I haven't asked, but none of my sisters will be there.
Oh.
So the oldest one's a piece of shit anyway. She's got an excuse for every. But she's the kind of person that'll live forever because she's just so full of
You mean
shit.
your
You know,
oldest
she
sibling
just
is? Oh.
yeah. She's a fucking. I mean, my dad's bullshit really fucked her up. Plus, she got a daughter that her second husband raped her, and after the fact, she came to my sister. My sister said, "Well, too late now." Well, that was her response, and her oldest son has nothing to do with her. And I mean, a matter of fact, when my nephew lived in Ohio with my auntie, my sister never sent him any of his child support. She kept that. She
Well,
she just she,
real pieces of work, huh?
no, yeah, she swears no, but yeah, she's the kind of person. She gave him a fucking nickel. She'd go, "Oh, yeah, I gave him money." You didn't say every week, but um, she apparently, my youngest sister told me this is before she got off Holy Roller into the a wild child. And she told me that. Well, when I was going to go back, when I was a kid, I lived there for a year. My dad did it when he was a kid. I wanted to do it. Plus, I had no brothers, so I had four cousins around. Within five 5 years older to a year younger than me. So this being done, and then my sister went there. My youngest sister. She went there at 12 because she was a wild child up in Milwaukee. Dating all these Latin lover gangbanger kind of people. So she'd go down there, and my auntie straightened her out. And okay. My oldest sister, knowing all this, but we all asked, we just didn't spring it on. According to my youngest sister, she brings her son down there, Jeff, and he's fucked up from both of his parents. I mean, he's got a bullshitter. They're both, dude, they ain't worth a shit. They should have never had children. But he's the smartest kid they got, better looking than the smartest one. My sister goes down there and talks about past things like I just mentioned, and she leaves my nephew there. My sister never asked my auntie or uncle. She just left them there. So the following year, my sister, she wants to come down for a visit. So she just says, well, I'm going to come visit you, and then shows up. She had no planned date. My sister had nothing ready at her house. My sister just shows up, and she got there like 5, and they're sitting around talking, and like 9 o'clock at night, my youngest sister said, so where are you staying? She said, well, here. Well, no, you're not. You don't, with my sister and my brother-in-law, well, that's the guy I went to school with when I was a kid. I've known him before that, since I was like 6. He's a good guy, but you don't do things to him like that. You just don't. He'd being an asshole. It's just that we weren't even ready for it. So they had to get up and throw their suitcases back in the car and go up the road somewhere. I think they had to go 30 miles north. So they were in maybe Canton. I don't know, Canton or Akron. And stay there, And so my daughter's wedding, she sent the invitation back that cost my daughter, it was per plate. So my daughter lost money on her and whoever she had down as a guest. I went to her fucked up both weddings. So, just because that's what family people do, So plus it was an excuse to get, go out and get fucked up. So my second sister, I went to her wedding, and I went to her son Gary, and me and the girlfriend I had at the time, we went. And Gary? No, that was no, I don't know what the fuck. Oh, I was with the ex-wife at that time. Hey, boy, I gotta figure this out, man. Oh, yeah, I was married at that time. I went with the ex-wife. So we went, and it was a good time. And nephew's a pretty good kid. He's about, I don't know if he's 40 yet. I don't know. He might be. I don't know. But Brittany didn't get married. She just lives with her. At the time, her baby's daddy, kind of thing. 3 kids with him. Now she's with another guy. I met him. He's cool. I got a bunch. She keeps having a kid when her welfare money's about to run out. She'll have another couple kids, you know. So she didn't get married, but she's my goddaughter too, and I was always fucking with her, making jokes, and she'd get pissed, you know. She hates the world. It's her problem. She was on Facebook once and there was commenting about something, me and two of her friends, and she was mad at her family, probably mad at her mom or I don't know who. So I said, well, you got a nice guy Cliff down there. He's a good man. She says, yeah, I'm fucking family. She says, fuck you. And I ain't talking to Dave and I ain't talking to Mary. So that she said that shit to me. You know, and I saw my sister. What the fuck is wrong with your kid? Why she hates the world 24 hours a day, every day of the fucking week. You know, she was at my dad's funeral. I did, you know, enough time had passed. I didn't, you know, she was probably about to apologize, and I didn't say, you know, I didn't look for it. So my niece Shelby, even her own father, he passed away a little bit, a year or two after her wedding, I think. And his family's known Myers our whole lives. You know, he's younger than me, younger than my sister a little bit. So he says, yeah, you know, I asked Shelby's fiance, I said, you sure you want to marry her? Because she's a real bitch. You know, she's fucking like a tantrum throwing, you know, the world revolves around me kind of person, you know. And everything you see in Facebook or whatever posted about her kids, you know, I got her a little, got her kid a baby thing for the Christmas, you know, to wear. She never had the kid wear it. And she, this is how juvenile she was, or she still is. She'll comment about her kids, but she'll never comment about yours. Nothing. So at her wedding, now they didn't have much money. My brother-in-law's sister did because he wasn't working, and you know, and he was dying. And so the ex-wife came with the kid, with my son and my daughter out. You know, our kid together. And their main course was pasta salad. You know, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, my ex-wife said, "Oh, quiet." I said, "All right, no, I've never been at such a cheap. Why even have one?" You know. So while I'm out in that area, she's sitting down. My great nephew, the three at the time, it was only three mixed kids that my niece had, you know, these are her nephews. And she says, my nephew accidentally spilled something. And she calls out, you fucking dickwad. The kid's like 4 years old. He says, I didn't do nothing. I said, yeah, I know you didn't do nothing, but you just go apologize to her for what actually happened. I'm not saying, you know, I know, but you know, everybody looks at her like, what the fuck is wrong with her? You know, you don't talk to a kid like that, especially a family. So she had something going on. She goes, well, you guys can come. I said, well, I got to work and get a rose don't dry. So she comes to my dad's funeral. Now, all of this in mind, I could care less, you know, whether I have a conversation. I really don't want one. You know, I just don't care for her. So I go back and forth. My son was sitting up front with me, and I kept going back. I talked to my other sisters, and she kept looking, probably wondering why I didn't stop by. I'm the one that lost the father, not her, you know. So I thought, fuck this kid. So my sister, you know, last year I called her. I said, hey, you know, we went to Gary's and we went to Shelby. I said, you know, you guys, you didn't come to any of them. You need to show up, you know. I said, it's a whole year in advance, plan for it. They never sent their shit back. They you know, you, when you say I couldn't make it, unless you're in the fucking hospital dying, you have a year of an advance notice. So you plan accordingly, you know. So there will be nobody but my mother there, as far as I know. I don't know about any of my cousins, you know, from my mom's side or my dad's side. They ain't gonna show up. We quit being a family associating with each other in the late '60s, I think. So you know, after the grandparents died, that's totally it. So that's embarrassing. So I'm gonna cancel all them fuckers like I did my cousin Karen, which we didn't talk a lot growing up. I mean, she's older than me, you know, about 6 years. She by chance, this is a funny story. Her ex-husband, deceased husband, he came from a big family of 11, and they lived on the northwest side. You know, she only married him once, and that was it. She's had her current boyfriend for like 35 years, and she told me she's on Facebook. You know, so the only time she ever reached out to me was when my father died, and I was having a hard time. She sent her phone number. Oh, the other time she would have her boyfriend answer the phone, and she wouldn't answer it. So at my dad's funeral, you know, my auntie, my cousin Karen, and her two brothers, I worked with them at Master Lock. My uncle worked, you know, retired from there. So I spent the entire time with my dad's, you know, youngest brother. He was about 5 years away from dying, you know, both of them. And I was always, you know, I always hung out with Mark at the factory, you know. Pat came in, electrician, and not so much, you know, but Mark, I did. Me and Mark were the same age. His birthday's in April. So we, you know, so I said, he came to my dad's thing, and I was talking to cousins from my mom's side. And I'm like, came in and he goes, yeah, so-and-so from Basketball said they know you. I said, oh, I never heard. And my cousin was leaving. I never talked to him. You know, I said, hey, we got one more, you know, meaning one more funeral. One time I'm getting together because I missed his dad's, and he didn't come to I didn't see him. He missed he didn't come to a family reunion, you know. So then I missed him at his dad's funeral. Then I saw him at his mom's. So he's not on social media. So I tell his sister, I said, hey, tell Mark to call me before actually from 2020 on to 2023, because I wanted to get together before I came back here. You know, hey, go have dinner up there. I was never introduced to his wife, you know. But
Hey, Craig.
she never did, you know. And her thing was, she would come over. She would come over. Hey, Greg. She would come over to my parents' house. Like my dad's youngest sister. She was 77 when she died. Within 6 months, not 6 months, she lost two daughters that were 50. One cousin was 58, and one was 57. One had a stroke, and the other one died in her sleep. The one that died in her sleep, I could never remember the names. I always got them mixed up. And she used to give me big hugs, you know, at the family reunion, whatever. And all these people would be looking, go, hey, what's going on here? You know, a little bigger hug than you usually give a brother or sister, you know. So her dad gives her a little shit about it. And he goes, she says, well, you never know if I'll ever see him again. You know, she did that the last couple years, and he was right. You know, my uncle's out in South Carolina. His son, my cousin Brian, he lives out there now with his wife. None of us were ever close. I was closer with the aunts and uncles than them. But my Uncle Fred's a hilarious fucker, man. He'd have you rolling, man. You don't even have to be drinking. Dude's got stories, man. And my auntie died, so he lost two daughters and a wife, in less than a year. And then, she died a week, almost 6 days behind her brother. My uncle had cancer. And what sucked for them was when they were young, they danced all the time. They could cut a rug, man. These two were phenomenal. He was a good-looking guy, tall. So I think he had as many kids as me, but he only laid claim to 3. But I knew about it. My dad told me shit, but I never, I'm 14, so I never said nothing. But after the aunts and uncles are gone, that's it, man. And none of I don't know if I didn't have time. I didn't think to ask him, but I didn't ask him about anybody else. Sure, my mother will be there.
It's like my mother's the last of all the aunts and uncles, and so, and she's not doing well. I got to go shortly here. I can't stay on real long, but yeah, she's close to the end now. She's not talking.
But what? She's just rotting away. She's shutting down, huh? She's tired, man.
Yeah.
She's 100? No.
Well, next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, is her 100th birthday. So I don't know if she's going to make it to it, but I got all my kids are flying in for her birthday next Saturday. I hope she makes it. But she's totally she's not really talking. Her breathing is real shallow. She's got oxygen, in her nose. Her eyes open every once in a while and can't understand. She doesn't have enough air to really talk or strength. So she's really close to the end. I don't know if my sister started hospice yet or not, but I don't know. I didn't think she was going to make it through last week. I mean, this past month, there's been 3 times I was with her that I thought that was the last time, I was going to see her. I didn't want to leave, because I didn't know which breath was going to be her last, but that's happened like 3 times in the last month. So she's her body's just amazing how it's holding on, 100 years. Can you imagine? Your heart beating for 100, and then you get young dudes 17 having heart attacks and dying, and young kids, young babies, and her body's lasted 100 years. That's never went to the gym, never worked out, did any of that shit. Of course, she never smoked or drank, okay, and she walked everywhere when she was young. So maybe that's the key. I don't know, but. Man, it's just amazing to think. You know how we feel 60 years old. Can you imagine 40 more years?
My dad, my dad was an asshole, and didn't really, so I didn't have the closest to any cousins, We were the only ones moved out of the South Side before the riots happened, and, in Milwaukee. I think it was in 67 or something, 68, something like one of those 2 years. I was like 5 or 6, maybe. Yeah, I was 6. And he was an asshole, man. I couldn't give a fuck. But when he died, it was like all that, you realize that subconsciously you go, this shit will be different someday or better, but when they die, when he's gone, the reality sets in that it's never going to happen, man. So
it's like every time the last 5 or 10 times I've been with her, I always think it's the last time. I mean, we've made our peace with each other. When she was still talking, we talked, and I told her how much, she meant to everybody. I mean, she's the most unselfish person I've ever met in my life, Tony. I mean, the woman never put herself above anybody, you know? I mean, she was one who would literally give a shirt off her own back to a total
She
stranger, you know?
sounds.
She lived,
It didn't stress. It didn't stress her. It didn't
not
stress
yet.
her.
She
Stress will
seemed,
kill you
she
too.
always worried, but she worried about other people's welfare, you know?
Mhm.
She didn't worry about herself, but, uh, yeah, she,
Yeah.
never heard, you know, she didn't say a bad word about anybody. She used to tell us, you know, the old saying that, hey, if you don't have something good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all,
Uh,
right? So,
yeah.
but
Well, I
it's been
wouldn't have
hard to,
anything to say if that
I
was the
know,
case,
yeah.
man.
I was thinking, like, damn, Tony would be a mute dude, you know? But, but no, never cuss, swear, you know?
I
And I never swore in
I
front of her
just think
intentionally. You know, she might have heard if I was out playing soccer and you know someone I might have said fuck or something. You know, but that's the only time she heard.
uh,
I'd never swear in front of my parents. You know, I just never
my
did.
first I waited till I was 18, and it's like I enjoyed it, you know. And my dad looked at me like, "Oh, why are you talking like that?" You know, I said, "Fuck, you used to talk to us like that all the time. What do you mean?" You know, he couldn't figure it out, man. He you know, maybe someday if there's some kind of nirvana somewhere, some kind of if it's true, and you know, then we get to enjoy each other's company happily, with none of the misery. So you know, or none of the issues and problems and all that. So then you know, hopefully, I mean, that'd be cool if it's like that. I'd love that because I didn't get it here, you know, and that made me I was able to learn shit. It just took me. I learned at other people's expense. So if everybody's coming to see her, man, she tell her to stick around for another week at least.
Well, I think
Never.
subconsciously, I think that's what she's holding out for. You know, she doesn't even realize what's going on right now, but I think subconsciously she knows her birthday
You know
is.
what?
You know,
You know what? You know what? Though I believe that it I believe that no people know, but it's just that she's so wore out and tired that she just doesn't have enough energy to say anything. When I was in the hospital for my surgery, and I was laying there, you know, when I heard that the black kid say, you know, and they had to turn me over to put me on another bed to transfer me, or a gurney put me to, you know, to another room. And I would have loved to have laughed when the guy said, just roll his ass over, you know, and I fucking, and I just, you know, and the girl was mad at him, and they looked to see, yeah, you know, I heard it. She was pissed at him, but I couldn't say anything, you know.
right?
I couldn't respond. I don't know why. I normally I would have in a second, you know, but I didn't even chuckle or smile. I just, you know, inwardly I was like, fuck yeah, I wish I could respond to him, you know. But you know, that fucked me up for a week. It's surprising how much what the body don't like being opened up, man. And it is for what I had, just what I had. That I was fucked up for over a week. Well, you know, but when I got home from the hospital, I was in the hospital for a week afterward, and I had my son coming over. You know, like having my dad Junior. You know, because he's just like him with the way he acts, and sometimes, you know, like everything being like things being a bother. And I said, man, you don't want to be like that guy because I'm going to tell you, you're like him. You know, he never disputed it. I said, you don't, you know, if my dad would have called me up and said, hey, I'm coming over for your wedding. I'm going to need a ride. Well, I'm coming over. I need a ride from Chicago. okay, well, I'd planned my day or schedule it as part of my day. His first reaction was, well, I only got one car now, so you might have to find another ride. Well, the reason I asked him was because he's the closest one to, I don't talk to my sister. And the other one lives up further up in Wisconsin. My daughter's in Green Bay. So, those two. The other two are in Texas now. Or one Florida, one Texas. But, I thought to myself, you know,
Supposedly this weekend, I got a daughter. I think she's coming from Seattle. I got a son. I think he's coming from Oregon. My son from Texas, and granddaughter and grandson are coming with him. And my daughter and her boyfriend from Florida. So I got 4 kids, I think, are coming in. Oh, and our son from Florida too, in college. So we got 5 out of towns coming in for her birthday. Starting on
they're staying at
Thursday.
your house?
No, they're getting an Airbnb. It's a bigger house
Okay.
because there's going to be
Yeah.
probably 8 of them maybe altogether. But yeah,
Dang.
they plan on coming for her birthday, and I told them her situation. But
How old's your youngest kid?
she's a junior in high school. Going to be 17 in a couple weeks.
You're gonna lose your. Well, you don't get the child care, but
I get Social Security for her until she's
No,
18 and graduate.
yeah.
But
Well,
claiming for
it'll be-
taxes, yeah, this is the last year.
dude, yeah, this is the she child tax care credit. People like to blame Trump for a lot of shit, but Sleepy Joe, if that would have been Trump that took it away,
That got cut in half.
Sleepy Joe, yes, well, yeah. When I went, the guy goes, I said, how much you getting back? He said, 1,200. I go, what the fuck? You put 12? I said, I'm used to getting 4,000. What the fuck happened? And he, well, of course, there was a black receptionist, so she's in. I don't know where this all Trump racism shit goes. The fucking Sleepy Joe is one of the biggest fucking black haters in the fucking universe. That piece of shit. That fucker, so he can't remember what the fuck he's done or said in the last 10 minutes, But I said, whoa, yo. I said, why is that? He said, because Biden took away the power. I said, oh, yeah. Well, Trump would have been in there, would have still been there. And then he looks off to his left, because the lady must have looked in. The facts are facts, man. People like fucking it shows you how many people. I've known a few people in my life that were labeled piece of shit, fucking bad seeds, rotten fucking people. You don't want to know them. All the rotten shit. And then I find out that they're some of the nicest better people I ever known in my life.
Yeah, I don't know about any other state, but for some reason the prices of gas has really gone down at least 10% in the last week. I think it's all due to election.
Well, sure it is.
Yeah.
You know what happened over here?
You can actually get gas, a gallon of regular in Pennsylvania for under $3. I mean, that hasn't happened since Trump.
I'm out of touch with that because I buy diesel. I buy diesel now, and my diesel is around 50. I think it fluctuates between 52 and 50. What depends? There's 2 grades of diesel, and one gas is 61. I think a liter, and diesel fuel I think is 50. Currently is 54.
Have you driven your truck lately?
Yeah, today. I got a whole 2,000 kilometers on there, and it's almost a year old. Oh, 1,200 miles for 1 year. So I got a call the other day. I got to bring, now this, I dented that piece I told you about in front on the high grass by where the mother-in-law lives, you know. So I didn't see the rock. It was actually like a fucking miniature boulder. So, I started this bullshit back in May. I think around here, in this country, the salesperson is an agent, and they take care of everything. They take care of the insurance claims. You notifying you of your insurance renewal that's due. You know, all of that shit. You go to them for everything but emissions. So I went there the other day and she said, they gave me a notice. And I said, well, you know, I thought it might have been a scam or some shit. So I called her up. She answered me back right away, which was a fucking miracle in itself. And she said, oh, you know, the notice I got was from Cagayan de Oro. And all of Philippines, you've got like fucking maybe 3 owners that own the entire Toyota operation in this country. All of Mindanao. We have to pay a little more just because we're down here. But they sell shit right for MSRP. There's no dealing with them here. There's only one Toyota dealer in town. So, you know, so I go there and I said, what? You know, she says, well, you know, they're going to need to get parts. So I'm thinking, okay, this quarter of the front there below the fog light, you know, that can't be all that much. And I go there and I said, well, I had to give like a $3,000 deductible, a 3,000 peso deductible, or version of that. So I said, well, how much is? He said, no, we're just going to take that off and pull that dent out, and we're going to paint it. I said, well, you know, I understand that when you buy a quart or pint of paint, you got to pay like $300 regardless of how big an area you're painting on a car. You know? So I got to leave it with them for at least a week or so. So I'll try to con her into give me a fucking ride back here because I don't want to take that multi-cab, man. I mean, I could take that number 4 right you know, close to here, but I don't want to fuck with that.
So Craig, that's about what just at around $6 Aussie dollars per US gallon, right? You said $1.60 a liter. There's 3.78 liters in a US gallon. So in the US, that'd be 6 Aussie dollars, which would be 4 something here, I think.
100. It's all. Well, you telling me it's only under $2 here for gas? If gas is 60,
Australian dollars. It's $1.60 a liter in Australia.
Okay.
So there's 3.78 liters in a US gallon. So that's about 6 Aussie dollars per gallon, which about is probably like $4.50 here, I think. I think it's like
so it's about $3 the same here, I think, for gas as it is in America.
What'd you say it is? 61 per liter there?
I saw 61. I don't really look at gasoline because I get diesel fuel. Diesel's cheaper. Diesel could be up to 10 pesos.
Pesos 56 to $1 now?
It's
55.
around there.
Okay, so it's about $4 a gallon for what you're paying for regular gas in the Philippines. When you saw it at 61.
Okay.
That's $4.11 a gallon.
That's what I was gonna bring up before. There was a point about that. I forgot what the fuck it was. I forgot what it was.
I don't
even look in.
$295 yesterday. So
You know, I go to Petron and I try to today. I looked it up. They're supposed to add better diesel, more quality diesel fuel, but I go in there and I'll go, well, put 1,000 in or 1,500 or whatever, you know. So I don't like them. When I tell them put in 1,000 and they're squeezing the last 200 pesos in there, I don't want to do that. It's not a good thing, you know, especially when I'm using my fuel injector cleaner. You know, I'm going to put it in before I go, right before I go. But that makes a big difference there, and that's it confused me with my what do you call it? Because I thought before I wasn't getting such great, fuel mileage. I don't know how you'd say it here, fuel mileage, fuel. I don't know how you'd say it here, what, fuel kilometer, whatever. And and I am, because I could hear that. I could hear one of the cylinders missing before, same one, you know. And that'll happen when you have that. Plus, I took it out to buy some new roofing and span rail. And I went to make the payment on the material. So that's a total of 42,000 for material and 22 for labor. So one of the guys quits today, and we've been working here a year with the other guy. He must have been disgruntled somehow. Here working a solid every day of your life doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people. They get some cash and then they go on doing whatever they do. But now we're down to two guys, but the actual skill guy.
I think their attitude, Tony, is if they could make like 3 weeks salary in one day, if they really bust their butt, they wouldn't go to work for the next 3 weeks,
No,
because they'd get paid
right.
and then boom, they'd go party,
and
that
was thinking, I can't tell you how many times I looked and I said, I hate fucking working for this guy, or I hate doing this fucking job, I mean, working for a living sucks. It just, no way of getting around that. People go, do something you'll enjoy. I don't enjoy shit. I'll be honest. I don't want to.
I enjoy retirement. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoy doing nothing. My oldest sister too called my mother, because she lives down the road. She lives in the apartment my mom and dad used to. So my mom went to a unassisted, they live by them. So she is squeezing her money just to be there. And my nephew keeps trying to get him to borrow money from me. And I'm thinking to myself, you're a loser like your fucking father. You're a dork. You're a doofy looking fucker. So they're gonna fuck with you. So out of anybody, he works the most, even more than his oldest brother. Went and had 5 kids and just got fired from his job for banging some fucking teenage help. He was a manager at a Roy Rogers or some shit like that. We don't have him in Boston anymore, but I said, dude, well, maybe you get the hours and the miles. Maybe you get the miles if you actually fucking showed up to work. Because every time, like every month, I would go to my parents' apartment. He'd have a different company truck out in front. So now they live there. He pays the bulk of the car payment for my sister, so she's got 2 cars. And Kia must have wanted money awfully bad from her because she had a car that she had, she still has. It was a good car too, the big one. What was their big car at the time?
Kia Optima.
Sonata? No,
Optima.
yeah. No.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the Kia Optima.
just wait. You know, their sister company, their Hyundai had Sonata. No, it wasn't so anyway, she had a car like 10 fucking years, man. You know, she owed money for I don't know how many years. They never took it from her. She always, you know, if she could pay $10 a week, that's what she did. I'm like, I've never known anybody with the dumb luck you got. You know, fucking, how do you do that shit? You know, when she lived with me, and I made a simple request. I said, you know, you fuckers ain't paying me. I want to live in my house and come and go like you ain't even here. So when I get up in the morning, I want that fucking car out of my driveway. I want to ride right out. At the end of the day, I'm telling you what time I'm usually off. I want to drive right in. So she and her and my niece, neither of them would work. You know, they'd sleep till noon. It reminded me of that cartoon where those fucking dogs or whatever go to work and he beat the shit out of each
Yeah,
other.
right.
You know, and
Hey,
then their
Ralph.
friend,
Right.
yeah, fucking like basset hounds or some
Have a good
shit.
evening, Ralph. Okay, I forget what the
Yeah,
other one's name was.
yeah. I don't remember either, but you know, they were like that, man. So she says, you know, I'm going, and I'm thinking for the longest time, I'm thinking, hey, man, she must have got up real early. But then after about 4 weeks, I thought that car never moved, man. How could somebody get it in the same spot for 4 weeks? So she accumulated 300 and some dollars. It was more than 4 weeks that she was out there. She accumulated 300 and some dollars. And at the same time, she was trying to get what do they call it? Like me, like my license. Fuck, I can't even think of the name of the goddamn thing. Uh, but she's got these tickets hanging on her. If she goes, CDL, when she goes for the CDL, you know, so she could drive school bus. She really aims high for success. You know, she should have went right to the bus company. Yeah, I would have told them don't hire her. She's a fucking piece of shit. But anyway, I said go to Transit Plus. You know, that's the like a sister company of the, the main company. You know, they pick up disabled people. They you know priority. You know with the quadriplegic. You know that kind of thing. And she never goes there. So she goes to she goes to the DA, the Cudahy DA, Cudahy, Wisconsin DA. And it's a small town now. This ain't Milwaukee where you got several 100,000 fucking turds, man. That you know, they don't do shit, obey nothing. She goes there and she tells him, well, you know, it's pretty hard to get up. And I thought, you don't fucking work. What do you mean? You don't get up till fucking noon. When I leave for work, that's when you come out. You know, and having these two fucking did. Oh my god, man! I'm like, you got two dogs, a fucking rabbit, a cat. The only plus side to a rabbit is when a rabbit shits are like fucking pellets. You know, they
So,
look like
so
food.
if they didn't
They,
work, how do they even feed themselves, let alone the animals?
she got some kind of assistance uh, through some fucking organization. I forget for what. She was her. She kept trying to get disability, but for one, she was too young, and you know they're not going to pay somebody who's fucking 30 years old unless they have to. So the judge had her sit there for an hour. He's talking, and he says, "Well, you can work. You've been sitting there for an hour. You didn't complain about sitting still." So she got some kind of fun, some kind of fun. So I don't. My oldest sister, or my nephew worked truck, drive semi over the road. They made a little bit. What his plan was, I said, I'll charge you $600 a month for 3 people. That's a great deal. I moved all my shit downstairs to my rec room. I said, you got the whole floor. Little did I know that they wouldn't even come out of their rooms all day. You know, and my sister trying to tell me this TV my cousin, my nephew bought that he never finished paying off was a piece of shit, but she's swearing it's the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. It was like a off brand of some fucking piece of shit TV claiming, it was crap. So he pays me $300, half of the payment once. So they were there for over 10 months, and I didn't get nothing from them. He said, and he tells my mom, "Grandma, I ain't gonna pay him. That's crazy. I ain't gonna pay that." I said, "You agreed to pay that for you and your mother and your sister. You don't agree to something." I said, "The only reason he gave me shit because I blew her some shit." He goes, "That's your sister. She went to the hospital." I said, "Well, when are you gonna be out so you can go look for a job?" Fucking. Every time I went to have her moved out, the first 2 times, she went to the hospital. And she did have problems, but so I told my mom and dad about her, and my dad says they thought I was full of shit on all of it. I'm thinking, oh yeah. My dad said, he was right on most of that stuff. My mom says, yeah, she vacuums. I said, you live in a fucking apartment. You got about 2.5 feet on each side of the coffee table there. A total of 10 feet one way. And then you got a hallway. Yeah, oh yeah, they fucking and then my mom they needed a new couch, and I said, "Mom, buy a leather or vinyl thing." I said, "You got fucking fat ass laying on that bed, man. All that dead skin in that fucking fabric." And my dad's standing there. He don't hear that good, and he's got his hands like he's praying to God. He's going, yes, somebody else saying what I've been saying. And my mom wouldn't do it. She goes, so she's flopping there for free, right? I mean, she talk about the person biting the hand that feeds you. So my dad gets up in the morning, flips the light on, she's bitching about it because she's laying in the living room, sleeping on the couch. You don't want to disturb the walrus, Cuckoo could chew. So they got Thanksgiving coming up, and I don't know if my sister was on the fucking, I'm getting off the rag mentality forever. And she told my mom, she goes, "You cook your shit over there, I'll cook mine here. Stay out of my way." Oh. When my dad were younger, he would have went, "Oh yeah, is that right, huh?" That don't phase her. It don't phase her. Her logic, lack of logic. Well, I don't even know what her definition of logic is in reality.
They don't have any.
It's some bizarro world, So when they were living with me, I said, roll up your Thanksgiving. So when a microwave takes a shit and don't work no more, a lot of times they'll just that beep that goes off, it'll go off and never stop. So I'm downstairs. There are 6 people upstairs. They calling me. It's her microwave. Hey, that thing's making noise. No matter what I did, I go, it's garbage. I go, here's how you fix it. Unplug the fucker. you know. And then I went like that with my hands, and I'll clean my hands off, and I went downstairs. She, with they had two dogs. They had one was that shedded a lot. I forget what kind it was. The other one was on a deathbed. They both were, but it shedded a lot of hair. And I go back to these people and never doing nothing. You know, that mean nothing, dude. Not even, you know. She would turn on a vacuum when I got home, and so I could, and she'd be pushing it back and forth. I said, "You ain't fooling me none." So I go, my niece says, "Hey, the refrigerator don't work." I said, "Hey, Mike," I said, "Oh, really? Oh, man, what's going on here?" I opened the door. The freezer's dead. You know, everything's just, it's like the tropics inside. So I look in the back of the refrigerator by that vent. It's caked with fucking dog hair. And I said, so I call up the guy, sends his kid over. You know, the thing is about the newer appliances like that, like TVs do not have that thing like a surge protector in them. They haven't had that for years. It'll blow up if there's a surge. We have to get a spike bar, you know, something that'll trip like a, you know, GFI, almost like a GFI, only an extension cord. So you got that to do that, you know. I forgot what I was fucking saying. What was I saying?
About the fridge, man.
Oh,
All clogged up with
yeah.
dog hair.
Yeah, so I look at it and I go, I just immediately I blew a fucking gasket, you know. Guy comes over, he says, you know, the kid says, yeah, I can fix this one, put a new humidistat in, because what happened was all that hair blocked off the airflow, so it choked it. And I look and I go, there's two fucking people in here. They can't do that. And the guy says, he says, yeah, I would have broke eventually. Well, no shit, you know, but I'm thinking, and my niece says, it was $374. This is back in 2013. Yeah. And thank God I got them out of there before my wife came. They wouldn't have left.
Hey, Michael.
So my niece says, well, you can afford it.
Yeah, they always say that when they're not the one paying for it. You know, that's like my kids. They leave the room, they leave the light on, right? Or they go out in the kitchen, they'll turn the light on above the oven, right, to see something, and then they'll leave. They'll go back to the room. I'm like, turn the light out.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's dark. I said, well, you're not there. I said, you know, it's kind of like the old, if a bear shits in the woods and no one's there, does it stink, you know? I mean, I said, you're not paying the electric bill, you know? So that's why you don't care, you know?
Yeah, right.
And it's like the ones that take 10-minute showers, you know? I'm like, hey, how the hell long does it take, you know?
My niece says, I said, well, the little money, she's getting enough, you know, for herself. Which she said, I said, well, why don't you start paying for something, man? Why don't you help out with the water? And my niece says, why should we have to pay? I thought, you know what, man?
Good. Don't go live in your own house and never flush the toilet and see how much you don't need water.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
man.
So I snapped on my sister about, she gave me this bullshit. I said, no, man. I said, that ain't an answer. I want an answer. And my niece says, oh, quit messing with my mother. I thought, fuck you. You're out of here. I went out in my garage. I called the cops up because I had been to the police station and asked them about getting them out of my house. Yeah. And she was wise to this, because once somebody, if anybody out there don't know, once somebody, if they have their mail coming to your house, good luck fucking getting them out.
Oh yeah, that's what the cops are going to say. Oh, that's a domestic issue. We can't.
But my problem that went a little further than that, because the cop that I talked to at the police station, he was a landlord, and he gave me his take on all that shit.
Yeah.
So what happened between then and then was she made some threats, you know. So then I said, the oldest cop, he says, and my sister, she stuck up. She went along with my story, you know. My sister said, "Oh no, she's at it again." You know, like the fuck. So the cop says, "Why? Because if you don't want you here, you can't stay here." And I'm standing out in front. This cop, the rude. I knew a couple of the cops, right? The kids played ball with ours, so I knew them real good.
So this
But
was
one
your
guy,
sister's daughter you're talking about?
yeah, my sister and my daughter, I both got them out. Killed two birds with one stone, right?
Uh,
So, so my sister's trying to play Mr. and Mrs. Innocent all of a sudden, you know. So she had this Oak Entertainment Center that, no, it was dark oak. No, I mean, this shit went out with the 70s, man. Yeah, dark oak was, it'll never be back. It was just, so when I moved it, my dad brought his friend's van, and I scratched the fuck out of it. You know, my sister had this storage thing full of fucking nothing. Nothing mean nothing worth anything. And she's supposed to be helping. Every time we came with a load, she's standing there looking. Shit stacked from the floor to the ceiling. And I said, "Why don't you get rid of this shit? Why ain't ready to let go yet?" So now she's got that. She's got the storage in my parents' apartment, you know, and the one she was in. So
Speaking of
yeah,
that's what I got to do today. I got to take. I'm having a guy haul my car from my mother's house to a storage unit that I rented. So
for what? What car?
I have a car that was my retirement project. It's not finished. And it's non-runnable right now because I have the transmission out of it. Because I was going to pull the engine, rebuild it, and then get it back running. You know, put a new clutch in it, pressure plate. You know,
what is it?
I had to fly. It's a '91 Mitsubishi Galant VR4.
So it's just a project. G4.
Yeah, it's a project car, but it's an all-wheel drive manual. Okay. From '91. It was one of the first World Rally cars. They had these. Did you ever see a Mitsubishi Evolution? It's called.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. This is the grandfather of the Mitsubishi Evolution.
They want like 40 grand for that fucking car.
It was a World Rally car. Yeah. But mine needs rebuilt. The body went to shit because it sat out in the sun a lot and the paint peeled. So I need to either get it repainted or have a wrap put on it, but I gotta get it running first.
I'll put a roll bar in it, smash the windows out.
No. But I just want it to be my daily driver eventually. But with all the kids going to college and everything, it's kind of been put on the back burner. And I had it at my mom's house, and now we got to get rid of her house. So I got to get it out of there. So hopefully today's the day.
Yeah, and then you got to be the part-time hunk of burning love too.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it in the storage. I might float it out there for guys to sell it. You know, the guys that want it. There's fanatics out there, you know, that want those kind of cars. So
don't you have extra room where you live that you can rent or park in it?
Nope. Plus, I want to keep it indoors, you know. So, But storage unit's only 150 a month, so that's not bad for a whole garage size. 10 by
With a
25.
9, yeah, oh, that's pretty good. 10 by 25.
10 by 25, yeah. 150
Yeah,
a
like
month.
my
So
car's about 10, 12 feet long anyway, right?
no cars, yeah, they're what, about 12, 14, maybe something like that. So, anyways, I'm going to hopefully do that. The weather, which we might start getting some of that rain from that hurricane that's going to eventually make it up here. But
So listen, I got
what?
this long, you seen the front driveway of my house in a video, haven't
Yeah,
you? Okay, well, uh, I ordered for the parking area and the patio area. And, before the other guy quit today, they got two guys. They almost bit the concrete. They don't even mix it to a decent consistency of thickness. Just it's almost liquid. It's all liquefied. Because it cures longer. It takes longer for it so they can come back the next day and they can start off at the jagged fucking area that was there the day before. It's no big deal. So they're out there, two guys. I mean, come on, oh fucking 2 days to pour a fucking 12 by 20 area.
yeah. Oh, they're
And
doing
I
that
said,
now.
yeah, and well, I ordered the doors for it. The one room is a storage room. The other room is where I'm putting the kitchen and the refrigerator and stove and the lawn and the washer. So I'm going to have them do he said he's going to hire another couple guys, but who knows what caliber these fuckers are. I said if it's the guys that were here before, because two of the guys that were here this time were from that crew. They owed me about over 2 months of fucking wages that they never worked for. They
Yeah.
did.
Hey,
So
Craig,
anyway,
you're correct. Craig, there weren't many of those. In fact, they only imported 2,000 of them to the U.S. back in that year. So the number on the road still, maybe in the dozens.
did you
It's probably under 200, I would imagine. Or
check out your VIN number? That ought to tell you what number car that is.
oh no, they imported 2,000, Tony, and it has a number from 0 or 1 to 2,000 of which one your car was that year, and I know
Which
the
one is?
number mine was.
What's
So,
it? What is it?
807.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And the next year, they only imported them 2 years, 91, I think, and 92. The other year,
Yeah.
they only imported 1,000 of them. So, yeah, Craig, there's not many at all left. And I would sell it if I could find a young guy who wants to,
They don't know
restore it
nothing
and
about value with that, man.
enjoy it. I mean, I'm not going to get much money. If I could get a couple grand out of it, fine. I mean, I got more than that into it, of course, but if I can't, well, yeah, I know. That's why I'm putting it in storage right now, Craig. I'm holding on, but it's not runnable. I have the transmission out of it. I have all the parts to rebuild it. Like I said, new clutch, pressure plate, had the
Unless the
flywheel
guy,
redone, had the head resurfaced, new valve job. I just got to replace the head gasket on it.
unless the guy knows what he's doing, man, they ain't gonna buy it. What kind of buyer are you gonna get for that?
Oh, there's young kids, motorheads, man. They'd have it back together in a day.
Just keep it.
If I had a garage with a lift and all my tools there, I could have it done in a day. If I started in the morning, I could take that engine out, take the valve cover. I have everything disconnected from the engine. The transmission is disconnected, the drive shaft. The only thing that's holding it on is the motor mounts, okay? If I could lift it out, rebuild it, put the new timing belt on it while I'm in there, new head gasket,
Dude,
put it
listen,
back together.
listen. Listen,
What?
if we all had a lift, we would have dozens of cars in there and around the fucking building. I mean, that's a guy's dream, man.
I know that.
What
I'd
keeps
love to have a garage with a
oh,
lift, just for oil
man,
changes. I mean,
oh
and
my
rotating
God,
your
yeah,
own tires
yeah.
too.
Well, today when I go out there, because they poured this in like three different sections, it looks like some some volcano fucking erupted, you know. So I got this, I'm looking at the uncle poured the parking area that has an overhead a roof on it now. A perfect pitch, just enough. You don't even naked eye, you don't even know. So when I'm looking at that today, I'm thinking this looks like the beginning of a fucking ski hill. You know, I s- I told the guy, I said, if I had a table out here with water in a cup, the fucking water would be pouring out one side of the cup. I said, this is too much. He don't understand a fucking word I'm saying, you know. And I said, hey, I can understand doing this little piece because you got to go around, these the parking area that they're coming out to put the roof on in the next 7 to 10 days.
Hey, Craig, I put what it is in the private chat. The vehicle. It's
So
right now black on black, but if I painted it, it'd be a different color or put a wrap on it.
I put a wrap on that. Well, you're gonna pay money for a wrap too, but
Yeah.
but
Well, you got to pay
but
big money for. I mean, I don't want it fancy paint job. I just want, like I said, I want this to be my daily driver for the rest of my life, which I might drive 10 more years. I don't know, maybe not. If you're sometimes your legs go bad, it's a manual. Maybe you can't drive a manual anymore. So I want to enjoy it while
well,
I can.
if you had to do a manual and every day stop and go, then you'd be saying, "Fuck this shit," it'd be
Well, no,
killing you.
I'm not in the city traffic kind of stuff. So
No,
it's
then
only
no.
good for you know the roads, back roads. You were in Ohio, so
Yeah, I know how they
there's
are
still
over
some
there.
wide open spaces, and
Yeah,
uh,
they're also I've gone flying. It's like if you look at it like in a cartoonish thing, it's like these levels of roads. If you look at, from one view, and there's no room for error there. They got houses on either side, but not all of it has houses. So it's a thing where you got no room to fucking spin out. You got no buffer there to fucking hit the brakes and skid to a stop with no damage done. You're gonna, you're playing with fire. I've done it before, but that's when I didn't. Nowadays no, I wouldn't fucking try it. But I get out back in the day when I could outdrive everybody. I was a driving. I'd have been a fucking good guy for the road rally shit. Especially if I can take a Buick LeSabre and drive that fucker like a sprint car.
well, we used to be able to drive in the snow. Especially when we were young, it was all rear wheel drive anyway. So we had to find our way through the snow and ice with a rear wheel drive car, fishtailing, all
Hey,
that shit. You
hey,
know,
there was always a lot of togetherness when it came to having 2 foot fucking drifts and shit. You get those guys out there, and everybody be helping their neighbor out that they normally wouldn't even talk to, you know. But I Michael says hello again. I think he might have passed out the first time.
hello again, Michael.
I just want this
Dave,
shit done because I want to come in here I'm going to wake up during the day. When I take my wife or kid to school, I finally found a shorter cut because my sister-in-law's kid goes to a different school to eliminate all the bullshit I got to deal with. But I don't want to see none of these fuckers when I wait, throughout the whole day. I don't want, the nephew that I can't stand, little fucker. I'm watching boxing today on YouTube, old boxing matches, not old, but Canelo Alvarez and some other guy about 5 years ago, 3 years ago, something. And he said, "What you doing?" Captain Obvious. I said, "I'm watching boxing." Well, I like boxing. I go, "Get the fuck out of here." He's 5 years old now. He's a seasoned veteran when it comes to disrespecting you and your property. Because I'm like, no, man, I don't. Shut the door, go away, 3 times. Then he's out there drawing on my truck because it's dirty. I said, don't do that because either your finger might have fucking little pea bits of gravel, or there might be in the dirt that's on the truck. I don't want you scratching the fuck out of my shit, which would be par for the course with this kid. The problem is he doesn't have a daddy there all day. And all they do with him is say, "Oh, don't do that now because that ain't nice." One time, I didn't do it. I got the fucking backhand quite often enough to deter me from doing it. It didn't stop me from doing stupid shit. It just stopped me from that particular case. What happened to all these guys from last week? All these fuckers are all fired up and shit. There ain't nobody here. We probably got the twit in the Philippines watching. It was last week, unless he's got some kind of he watches, man. Dude, paranoid. I said, yeah. Remember when I told you that he had us blocked? Well, we couldn't see his live stream. Remember? Yeah, I said you couldn't see it because you couldn't see nothing. I understand because you're blocked. Well, he became unblocked the next day. So unless he does it right now, you can go on his, if he posts something, you can see it.
What are we talking about?
The twit, man. What other twit is?
Oh, okay.
Twit. Chico, Craig needs StreamYard to see it.
No, I didn't put a picture up, Craig. I just put what it was. It's a 91 Galant VR4. And that's the
four-door, right?
That's a four-door? They're all 4-doors, yeah.
You know what?
It was just a sedan, little square looking sedan thing, and it was actually a sleeper because it can move, especially when you got modifications like I got on my engine.
You sure the fuck could. They won over. We had a guy at the bus company. He had quit. I thought 8 years ago now. He bought a brand new WRX, 45,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the kind of car. It's an all-wheel drive manual, and that's the kind of car that I wanted. That's why I bought it.
The dude did not like the tires rated on the car were obviously just for the street and the highway. He went out and got some aftermarket fuckers so he could go racing. Right. So the sidewalk could endure the
right.
constant pushing and pulling.
That's what this guy had bought: 17-inch rims and low profile. The guy that had it before me. And it's got 70. Normally it was 15-inch rims, right? But he's got 17s on it, and they're nice. They were expensive at the time. They were like $250 each. Now that was easily 20 years ago, right?
Way more than that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're probably $400 or $500 a piece now.
Tires are probably that.
Yeah, the tires are probably pretty expensive too. So.
But when you have that if you have a wheel like that looks cool, if you have more than a 2-piece, you're asking for problems because you got the low profile. You hit a pothole, you're fucked.
Right.
We had a guy at work, black dude, cool too. His name was Sean, Chon. not John. John, I thought was pretty cool,
Yeah.
you know. And he was a player type, you know. He had cool dude. He worked a lot. He had he had either a he had a Jaguar, one of the long ones. It was it was $100,000 car. Of course, he drove it home once. He went home once, and he had the low, for home, where the sidewalls are what, even with the wheel, they're probably 2 inches. That, and he hit a pothole, and he fucked up the wheel plus the tie rod end.
Yeah.
And he drove it back very carefully to the station and put it in the lot for a couple of days before he had arranged for them to come pick it up. And they couldn't come pick it up while everybody was in the lot because he didn't want to get his car fucked up. You got to allow when you got a flatbed, you got to allow for that fucker. It goes back quite a bit. You need some room, you know. Pull it up with that cable, but I ain't taking much. I mean, what I'm saying that you need a little room. Golly, man, dude, nice car. I thought, what the fuck? I didn't ask him. You know, I know what side of the city he lived on. I didn't really know. To tell you the truth, I gotta think that this guy had more sense than to have $100,000 car in a hot, an area where every house is worth about $2,000. You know, he had his shit together. You know, he wasn't no dummy. You know, so he had but man, that fucking car. It reminded me of the old boats, the American cars. That from the back door to the trunk looked like you could have laid a 12-foot body, you know. Beautiful car. I think he just cruised around downtown. He had his priorities, man. He living the life he wanted to live, and he wasn't no dummy. So, I kind of envy these dudes that could do that shit because I never quite did it that way.
Hey, Tony, I'm going to have to get going. I got to get a shower and go be with my mom at lunchtime. And,
Okay.
And then I got to go move my car, hopefully, today, get it in storage.
Well, Craig, I doubt you missed my face, man. Oh, Rotary, yeah. Remember the 70 grand? Boy, I used to rent RX-7s.
Hey, next week, Tony, all my kids are going to be in town, so I don't know if I'll be on the live stream in the morning, but or it's night for you, but
yeah.
So they'll all be in for my mom's birthday, but we'll see what happens. All right.
All right.
So,
Well, tell her to hold on.
Well, it's just a number, you know. I mean, what's the difference if you live 100 years or 99 years and 51 weeks? You know.
Tell her the guys on YouTube. You can tell her the guys on YouTube tell her to hold on.
Yeah, right.
Get her grandchildren there. You got 100. It's a big mile. Yeah. So.
All right. Take care, fellas.
Okay. Good luck with all that.
Next time. All right.
Yes. Bye. I said his mom's about last couple of times he visited her, he thought she was sentimental for her because she's kind of fading away, you know. Probably getting tired of being old, I guess. You know, when you get enough stuff happening to you, you get pretty freaking taxed the way you feel, you know. I was just telling them, I don't know if you were here, I was telling them, you know, when I was in the hospital for that week, body don't like to be invaded, man. I mean, one of the orderlies, I guess you'd call him, he made a funny comment. It was funny to me. It wouldn't have been funny to somebody that didn't have a sense of humor, but he's like, this lady said, we got to move him on from this bed onto this other one to move him to a different room. And the guy said, "Well, just roll his ass over." You know, I found it hilarious, but I couldn't respond to it. I just laid there with my eyes open. You know, I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't. I had it in my brain, but I could not transfer it because I'd have said, "Dude, it's okay with me. I don't care. It's funny, you know." Find that shit humorous, but evidently he had done it before because that girl he worked with was pissed. I think they were probably recent graduates, nursing school, where they were, you know, get some on the job training. Good. Oh, man. What time is it? Hour and a half. What I got going on here? I'm going to be getting married at time would that be? Only 8:47 in the morning. They're getting married at like 2:45 on Friday afternoon, kind of thing. So the ex-wife's husband will be happy I'm not there. You don't have to get stressed about having an ex around. And evidently, the guy's got a problem with exes. You know, I mean, it was probably been my last chance to. Him and his ex-wife cheated on him, and I come to find out through ancestry that his ex-wife's a cousin of mine on my mom's side, probably a number 2 cousin. So I couldn't help myself last time I was there, man. That dude just, you know, like a big fucking. He's about Sasquatch. He's about 6'4". The fucker can't handle emotion. Well, after spending a day with seeing her guy around, I can understand why his wife did what he did and what she did too. Michael came out of the closet tonight. That's nice. Hey, sorry I missed that little call the other day, but my phone went dead shortly thereafter you called. Well, my kid fucking, you tell him not to touch something that's charged and he'll use it anyway. Hey, Simon. Dick Dastardly, the only friend that the Twits got. Yeah, the Twits probably here now. But last week, I told Kiko, I said, "Yeah, man, you did a live stream last week. You couldn't, but you couldn't get the notification if you were blocked." Sure enough, the next day he would unblock. It's only about what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:50 p.m., something like that. 12, something. You on 7 hours or 6 hours? Why? So I told the guy doing the concrete that I gotta have the kitchen floor put in, this and that. I said, "Look, man, that storage area, I don't need that shit painted. Fuck it, you know, leave it like it is." But I said, "Hey, you know," they kind of laughed at me when I said, "I got enough work here for to get to the end of the year and probably beyond." And after witnessing their gallon bucket at a time, even if it's that, of dumping concrete, unbelievable shit, man. it would probably take to the end of the year to reach the bottom of the driveway. So I don't know about that. Well, we have to have the fence or the wall around there. Additional 6 feet. On the outside, it's 3.5 already, so it'd be 9.5. But on the inside, it's 3.5 feet of dirt in there. So he's got to build the other side of it that hasn't been done yet. Well, he started out, get the foundations, so he can put the driveway in there. Otherwise, there's I don't know where they're at. Well, normally Chico's the only American here. Well, usually here. Michael's here. So 2 Americans. Plus they got your fellow countryman out over there. Man. In the new house.
Hey,
You know the house there, Pedro. Yeah, the Americans are in America. That's cool. Just Michael and the other guys are Norwegian and fellow Pritzers.
I don't know why it looks that way. I really don't have
Look, man, it's just that your volume was like looked like you got a green color wall or gray. Is it green or gray?
great.
That's the new house. Huh? So you got your wife and her fucking cousin and 6 kids in here.
I have 3 houses.
You got 3 what? Extra kids?
Her sister's kids.
I bought some. I forgot to tell. I bought some acai. They had it. We went. We didn't know it, but they had a supermarket at SM for whatever reason we didn't know. But I found some kind of brown mustard. It's in a yellow jar, and it mentions the mustard seed type. Brown mustard is used for the age of container. The hot dog on the picture had brown, so I just eliminate the bread.
Well, you're gonna spend money. You're broke. I don't really worry about it. And beer and
What do you feel like drinking it? I bought 5 of them. I go, that might be. I don't know. I'll have to do an outdoor deal once that area is available out there because nice outside. That's the nicest time of the day out there now. Very comfortable.
Oh, the goddamn Americans are coming. Simon's my favorite.
I'll give it.
I have shot
I'll do a half hour. I gotta do tomorrow. I gotta do something. I gotta get this medication. Not gonna have my truck next week because they paint the damaged piece of the part I had. I said, I listened to the guy. I said to the guy, I said, 6 months, man. In 6 months, and you're first now going to do it, and you're going to have it for a week.
But Now you see.
There you go. Nice crotch shot there, Mr. Green Jeans.
Yeah.
Where did you find green shorts in this day and age?
I don't know. You go to the Philippine military place where they sell them.
Whose army? Cuba?
We ain't talking about Cuba.
Wait a minute, I'll be right back. Un momento, you take charge for my.
We still own half of Cuba. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to talk politics, really. You know? Where did Kiko go? Yeah. I still do what I do, and but I can't see the other. Maybe I need to flip over to the other page. Oh, hang on, read comments. How you doing, Craig? Yeah. Oh, keeping up. Oh, my laptop. Oh. But there's a slide bar on top. Yeah. Oh. So like you can close your camera. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, he's out there going through his nightly ritual. He's got a girlfriend that comes around. He's got a little food for her. But he's like the shot caller. He's out there fucking doing whatever from the friendly confines of porch. I don't know what they bark like that for. He must be the king shit of the neighborhood. I don't
Kind of changed. Yeah.
All that racket in the background. You at the old place or the new one? You're at the old one, huh?
What are you
Michael.
talking about?
I don't
I'm older
know.
than you
Place
are.
I live in. I don't know. I don't know what you'd call them. Dwellings? You got so many. You got so many places. But yeah, when I ask you which one you in, what am I talking about?
I'm in number 2. The apartment is number 1.
You
This
look like
is
the old one.
number
You
2.
got shit all over the walls. Look like you've been up there a while.
Well, they're kids. They made honor roll and this and that. So I don't mind displaying it on the wall because it gives them confidence, you know.
All right, okay. That's what I was thinking, but I was afraid to say it.
You understand that?
No, not really, but
If they do a good job, then you get a plaque on the wall.
she give him she give him a blue ribbon for doing anything here and getting it done one day. Should
What?
trade rooms with my kid, because you got two window sides. Doesn't look like much room in that room for him. I tell you what's a pain in the ass to you. It's a pain in the ass.
I still have my captain's chair.
Answer. For what?
And it's right there. I just don't.
I have no idea, man. You live what? Across the street from the place you're sitting right now? So you're a
They're like
landlord?
in a they're like in a triangle.
Hey, do you rent the other places out?
Then I only own my wife owns it because I can't own the property. You know. We have to buy that. But I'm going next month to look at another property on another island. Yeah. But I don't know whether I want to buy it or not.
I'm gonna buy some new land. But here's the nice thing about this. The sales lady I bought the car from, they call them agents here. Her mother-in-law is the one of the caretakers, or not caretaker, but the finance.
You know, gonna
The
be
finance
there
lady.
all-
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
I'll find somebody that's
can't hear you.
really reasonable.
Oh, they're changing. Why? Why you gotta change? This one? Jeez. Shit pissing your pants, Michael?
Huh?
Go change it if you gotta change it. The bush. Go. Change it.
Yeah. I have like
Door.
places too I rent.
Why not?
Because I got
Put the door
that
in.
vehicle.
Air conditioning. You scared. Get out of here.
Air conditioning.
He watches all this crap on the internet, and then I'm scared to go in the dark room. Well,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
But the stuff that makes him laugh are rookie guys that put together a cartoon. I don't even know what they call it.
Well, I need an editor. I don't like editing video.
What?
My 248 videos, a lot of them only 23 are regular videos. That's it. And do live streams. I like talking to people. Yeah. I don't know what the name of that thing is to
Type it.
see.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. So I got this fatty deal going on.
But they pay you about $10 an hour just to have
What?
a
Painting?
presentation.
$10 an hour for what?
I'm talking about, you know what I mean? So then they learn how to speak English. You don't have to teach it, really. Yeah, maybe you do. You know, you should have said this and that, but you know, look, you can type anything that you want. You understand? As long as you get the first letter correct and the last letter correct. Anybody that knows how to speak English, well, you're typing the correct. This is the way your brain thinks. You know? My brain is wrong. Yeah. But it's okay. Yeah. I'll be kids and try to teach them right from wrong and all that. You know what I mean? But I wasn't gonna come up on the panel.
Who? You?
Well, because, yeah. You know what I mean? It's very seldom that catch your live streams.
Well, yeah, you gotta be awake. That's a prerequisite.
I got 7 kids over. Oh, you gotta be in bed at this time. It's a school day. You got to be home at a certain time. You know what I mean? Just like when we were kids. Doesn't change. Yeah.
How's the wife been doing now? She's got a channel over there. Did she ever use it? Or did she give up on it?
I want to give my YouTube channel to her.
You could put you and her together. You know who to watch is to watch Foreigner Joe and Ty Gibb Girl. Ty Girl Gibb. And when he became real popular, so now her name is first. He would build a brand new Hot Tyler, man, like in Coyson Man or some shit. I forget, but that house in America would be over 200 grand easy. Nice pool and all that. Of course,
She
he has no
takes
legal
lots.
right.
She takes lots of videos.
What's that? I haven't
Takes
watched.
a lot.
Are you talking to me or talking to your wife?
I'm talking about one.
I don't know, man. I'm fucking looking up and like your Stevie Wonder. You know, I don't know.
The places are like really long. It's super long. This main room, and then at the end there's a kitchen. Yeah,
I haven't watched that guy's videos. Man.
and coach. You know what I mean? I don't like the
Trying.
landlord here. I like the landlord in the apartment. Yeah. That means jingle and grab a beer. Huh?
Fucking pharmacy. Why do they? I've never been in a place where I need 100 milligram of my sleeping / other reasons. And they only got 25, so my wife goes in there and orders. So I tell her, go give me 90. You know, they only got 25. I take 4 of them a day. Well, I'll get 60 is only a month, and I'm not going to go there every 3 weeks.
Yeah. Toyota and Nova. Fucking cars. Fucking huge. Yeah. And big. It's like a SUV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, Maria's got a video out here.
these
Your wife is the person, Robert. Love you who you are. Yeah, right.
I don't own anything.
I don't agree with that. That's just a
Yeah.
lady's got her hands tied or some shit. Behind, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
stepping on the guy's fist. Mila Lina. My mom loves you because you're her son. Mhm.
One microphone is screwing it up.
I only got one that I really need to. Well, the other one too. Good to have the siblings thing. Don't have to deal with any of that. This potential cousin of mine in Argentina, her son turned 18 tonight. Stella. She's 20 years younger than me. 20 years.
I think I got vanilla. Oh, you have cakes. Come on.
Oh, wow.
Then I'll be in all next month. Yeah. Oh, I'm buying shit.
I seen this funny thing on the phone, on Facebook. This old Asian woman said, "I'm 63. I'm aging backward. People still think I'm in my 20s." Yeah,
Oh,
all kinds of people
really?
buying.
Man, that's stupid. Yeah. No, you wish you was in your 20s.
No, I don't, man.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about today when I shoulda, coulda, woulda thing, you know.
Yeah. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I had a lot of things I
Yeah.
passed up on that were,
But
as Simon would say, above the belt.
what I
Too far
shoulda
above the belt
did.
himself. But just because they're like that don't mean it's a perfect situation. I trial and error, man. I'm right where I need to be.
That's it. What do you think life is? It's trial and error. You
I've
know?
been married 2 times.
They said it was gonna be easy. You know
I've
what I
been
mean?
I've been married 3 times longer than you've been sober.
I'm talking about my wife. But nobody said it was gonna be easy.
You only had one? Huh.
Yeah, I was 50, 53 when I got married. Because before that, it was all about making money. I don't have time for family, really. You know, and raise kids and this and that. It's all
Some
about
cities excited.
making money. That's what it was.
She's got a good woman. My son's wife to be. She's a good woman.
It's all
I
about
told him
making
enjoy. I
money.
told him enjoy his day and all that. You know. Either.
Like living here, I don't really make that much a year, but
Let me see, man. We got Michael. We got
Thank you.
2 minutes, man. Oh, Mike, we got a minute,
uh,
and then I'm gonna go to bed.
you go to bed and I'll stay up.
There you go. You'll be up
Because
another
how-
what? You'll be up another 12 minutes. Nobody left here now. I said I was leaving. Nobody's gonna wait here. Okay. All right, Michael. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Maybe we'll see you next time. Right?
Every time I can't hit every live stream.
Well, we all know that. You haven't been around here like 8 months.
But if I miss it, then I'll go
Oh,
back and watch.
Well, we're not gonna curse you or nothing. No. All right. I'm leaving. Thanks everybody for coming. See you later. Adios.